Everyone, this is going to be a really short video because I only have 9 minutes left, but I actually think that I should make some video. Okay, this is about my topic of trauma, and I think it's actually quite helpful because one thing that um, I was sharing on my own Instagram and social media was this realization. I think we all talk about how particular narcissists, when they want to hurt you the most, they often choose to discard you at the worst possible time. Okay, they'll betray you and they'll discard you. They just drop you at the most, how do you say, the lead the time when you just don't want anything bad to happen to you. And the fact that they're doing this to you makes it even worse because I think from my own point of view, the time when it happened was actually the discard. I was right at the point when my financial state was terrible. I was actually looking to stop all the tutoring that I was doing and moving from this unstable work assignments into, at a time, personal training and fitness. And yeah, and it's really crazy because at that point in time I was also somehow some friendships ended. I'm not going to actually talk about how those friendships ended. That would be for another video. Let's just suffice to say that those other friendships were also narcissistic. At least those friends were narcissistic, if not cluster B. And there's some patterns which are really toxic, such as that I was being treated like someone to sponge off, and if not financially, then it was emotionally. And yeah, they'll do that at the worst possible time. And at that point in time, it's funny because now that I come to think about it, another thing that was being talked about in the videos by Angie Atkinson and some other life coaches or even therapists was that sometimes you might actually say that, oh, I love you, whatever, to the narcissist, or something. You might declare something. It's like a declaration of some kind of love for them, or maybe that you really want to, uh, you really want to be your best friend or whatever. It can be anything, or just maybe even it can be with a family member. But when you declare that particular love and goodwill to them, okay, they will take it for granted and then they will just discard you. They will do the worst possible thing to actually, betray you or abandon you. And right at the point when you need someone to stand by you, for me it was really quite obvious. I was losing some friends and I was also losing money. I wasn't asking for any kind of thing like financial support and help because I was really preparing to move to a new job. But at the same time, the fact that they did that at the worst possible moments is a it's a really painful lesson. And I kind of realized at the point in time I was left with no one to really support and help me. Even friends who knew what was going on, they didn't really fully understand the whole impact, the whole devastating impact and the gravity of the situation. What they would just probably say is, what, they made their choice, just let them be, which downplays the gravity of the issue. What Okay, so to go back to what I actually wanted to say, if there's anything that I think we can learn from narcissistic abuse, and I mean not just narcissistic abuse, but especially from the betrayal and abandonment trauma that they visit upon you, whether it's during the middle of the devaluation phase or even when they have totally discarded you, it is the realization that you cannot share everything and just about everything with everyone. Okay, I know that I sound really skeptical or even cynical about this, but until they have really proven that they are not really narcissistic, that they really care about you and that they're empathetic, the person that you face needs to actually show that they really care and respect you. Because if they do not care and respect you, then you are simply nothing but just a folder for them. FODDER, folder, meaning that their fuel, your fuel and supply for them. Okay, and you do not want to end up in this kind of stage. Okay, so that's the lesson to learn. You cannot just share and tell everyone everything. And this is actually also a very important thing in terms of setting boundaries. Okay, boundaries saying, I don't feel comfortable doing this, or I don't think it's the right time to do this, and I'm sorry, I can't do this because no matter what, this is actually against my values. Or even if it's not against your values, you can just say, this is actually something that I don't think I can do at all because it's not safe for me, and it won't be good for you too, because it will affect our relationship negatively. Okay, that's the first point. You can't just tell everyone anything and everything. Okay, it will not be safe for you or anyone else. And the second thing is this. This is, I think, more important because I think that we place the trust that we could have given to someone in the wrong person. So the second thing is this: do not trust blindly. Okay, I'm not saying trust no one. I mean, I still somehow, part of me they wants to go by this, trust no one. But if I really trust no one, I can't even go to a therapist or counselor to ask them for help, and it defeats the whole purpose. Because actually, I do have. I mean, I think I've kind of found some help in the therapist and the counselor. So the thing is this: you must find the right people to trust, and to trust, there's also a standard and a limit, and which goes back to the very first thing again: do not tell everyone everything. So the question then is, who do we trust? Which is going back to the second point. I said do not trust blindly, do not trust everyone, just like that. And I think above all, I think the main thing is just this: I think we can only trust in God. That's just a fact. Because if I were to trust in men, the close women too, sometimes that they might not tell you what they really think. And narcissists especially, they don't tell you everything they're thinking. Mostly if they do, is to manipulate you. Okay, and I kind of realized this especially over the years. If you were to really just grow close to God, read His Bible, pray more, live a life following Him, His words in the in the Bible, and you seek Jesus, okay, calling more upon Him just to change your life through the power of the Holy Spirit. That sometimes you realize that somehow after a while, especially the more you actually start living out your life, these people will fade away. Okay, I'm not saying that they won't come; they will still come. Okay, but at least you'll be able to say, no, I can't do this. These are against my values. Okay, so anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk a little bit more when time comes up. And yeah, and these are the two lessons I learned from betrayal trauma. Okay, have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.